News Breakfast host and network anchor Michael Rowland is in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania this morning for us. A very good morning to you, Michael.
Very good morning to you from Harrisburg, Fauzia.
Now, Michael, Pennsylvania, of course, a major swing state. I think it holds something like 19 electoral college votes, of course. Earlier on this week, Donald Trump and his supporters had alleged voting irregularities in Lancaster County in Pennsylvania. Already they're sowing the seeds of doubt over the coming results, of course. What are local authorities doing to try to appease voter concern about possible voter fraud?
Well, local authorities are doing all they can to reassure voters and both major political parties that the systems here are solid, secure and will not be corrupted either before the election and critically on election day. Yes, very interesting contribution there from Donald Trump this week. Whether those claims which are completely false, there has been no evidence of ballot rigging in Pennsylvania, underscores concern within his campaign, within the Republican Party about their chances in this swing state. This state is pretty much the ballgame, Fauzia, as you know. Whoever wins Pennsylvania pretty much wins the White House, or whether it was Donald Trump going back to his familiar 2020 trope of claiming the election is rigged, getting in early and setting the scene up for a further challenge if indeed he does lose to Kamala Harris on Tuesday.
Now, Michael, in 2020, President Joe Biden managed to turn Pennsylvania from blue to red. What's been Pennsylvania's report card about the Biden administration so far?
It's a very good question. Mixed is the best way of describing it. This state, ever since the 1992 presidential election, has gone Democratic, except in 2016 when Donald Trump won Pennsylvania and, of course, took the presidency in that contest against Hillary Clinton. This is a state that has cost of living, economy front and centre. Lots of working class voters here that have traditionally supported the Democrats, traditionally supported Joe Biden. Joe Biden was born in Scranton, Pennsylvania, just north of Philadelphia. He attracted a lot of support as a result of that. Of course, President Biden is not in this race. Kamala Harris is trying to pick up that support. Equally, Donald Trump is making a very strong pitch for those working class voters as well. So the economy is very important, and also abortion. Kamala Harris has been here lots of times in recent days. She'll end her campaign here in Pennsylvania doing a blitz of 3 cities here in the final hours of the campaign. She has been campaigning strongly here, as she has elsewhere, on women's reproductive rights and highlighting Donald Trump's role in ending the legal rights for abortion for women, not just in Pennsylvania, but across America.
It's also interesting to note, Michael, that Pennsylvania is home to a large population of Puerto Ricans as well. Now, after those disparaging remarks by a comedian at a Trump rally likening the island to a floating garbage, I suppose, how do you see that playing out with Trump's chances in Pennsylvania?
I was speaking to a representative of the local Latino Hispanic community here in Harrisburg earlier today, and she told me that once those comments were made, those disparaging remarks about Puerto Rico, her office, she runs a local not-for-profit, was inundated with requests from local Puerto Ricans who may not necessarily have voted, asking how they could vote, how they could express their displeasure at that awful joke, that awful commentary at Donald Trump's Madison Square Garden rally earlier this week. So whether that's pivotal or not to the outcome, but as you say, there are a lot of Puerto Ricans compared to so many other states, particularly so many other swing states in America, that they might just be a factor.
Now, Michael, moving away from Pennsylvania now, I want to go to Wisconsin. Both candidates were in Wisconsin. That, of course, is another major swing state. It's home to a large population of Arab Americans as well. Many have been very frustrated over the Biden administration's policies in the Middle East. Will that hurt Kamala Harris's chances in getting over the line with Wisconsin?
It could, and Michigan as well, let's not forget, has a very large degree of Arab Americans as well. A lot of anger about the way the Biden administration has handled the Middle East conflict from members of the Arab American community, claiming they haven't been outspoken enough in speaking up for Gazans, haven't been critical enough of the Israelis in terms of what they're doing there. We saw back in the primary campaign lots of Arab Americans who were members of the Democratic Party back when Joe Biden was still running, refusing to vote for him, simply writing uncommitted on their ballot papers. So whether that anger remains and hurts Kamala Harris's chances of winning Wisconsin or Michigan remains to be seen. But on the other hand, let's not forget, I mean, where else do these voters go? Donald Trump, if anything, is even more hawkish than Kamala Harris in his approach to the Middle East conflict.
All right, Michael Rowland there, News Breakfast host and network anchor. That's quite a title there you've got, Michael. Speaking to us from Pennsylvania. Thanks very much. We will, of course, have full coverage of the US election here on the ABC News channel. Do join us for the count from 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time this coming Wednesday, the 6th of November.